I took this section on 4 years ago and it's been a massive undertaking. This is the one video start to finish that captures the whole journey. So day one, every plan, it seems to be 2 steps forward and 1 step back. One of the worst days I have ever had on a building site. The Prime Minister of New Zealand announced a 4-week nationwide shutdown. I don't want to be one of those builders that moves into a place and still has 1,000 jobs that I just procrastinate forever. Everyone has come to look at this. Every builder, every man and his dog, and been scared off for one reason or another. Just standing on the section we locked in unconditional. 1,600 square metres in a nice suburb in Upper Hutt, but it's a tough site. So real early on we coined the saying, the section nobody wanted. There was a number of issues with the site that I could see had put a lot of people off in the past. It was on a slope, it was accessed from a right-of-way, and there was a very tight dog leg at the start. That right-of-way was also shared with 2 other houses behind the site. There was a number of drainage easements running through the middle of the site, which restricted your building platform even more. There was a set of power lines feeding the neighbour's house running across the site that needed to be dropped and laid in the ground, and there was a protected totara tree right at the top of the section where we would ideally have put our garage. So downstairs we're going to build a basement garage which makes the most of the natural flow of the land, and next to that we're going to build a studio, and then we're going to have the main house upstairs, all one level. Upstairs will be a pretty normal 3-bedroom 2-living house. We really wanted to make the most of the orientation of the section and capturing that north facing sun. We've got 2 large outdoor spaces, both north facing, both will get that midday sun right through to early evening. So yeah, that's what we're planning to build, and that is a result of the initial concept phase with Prime Designs. We are also well and truly through the working drawings for building consent. We've been making decisions around the best way to put those drawings together to really make the build as smooth as possible. Morning, just to the section with the boys. My very first job, joy to the world, I get to mow the lawns. There's quite a few of them, it's quite long, it's going to take a while.
Broken bone under an open wound, and you always have to be a bit careful with that. So I've asked the orthopedic reg to come and look at it. So he'll look at it.
Had to have surgery. They were literally picking out shoe and grass out of the knuckle in my toe. Got stitched up and then had to spend 4 weeks in a moon boot off my feet. You know, even though I've been through this quite a few times now, I still found myself surprised at how long things take and how many things you have to line up, and also how many decisions you need to make so early on before you can even see or touch anything on site. You're deciding down to some pretty fine details about products you're going to use, how it's going to look, and you have to get that all on the plans. We forgot about like lead times with people like engineers and pre-nailers, and how, you know, a couple of days delay here just has a flow-on effect. plans are ready to go in. Look at this stack of paper that for every single consent that you submit, you have to include probably about 6 trees.
Lovely.
So you probably don't need anything else, it's all there?
No, just all that and I'll get that through to the team.
Cool, thank you.
Wonderful.
The digger's here. What I've been setting up here is called a story rod. When you're working with slopes and wide sites, it's good to set up a board and mark your heights and obviously double, triple check it. There's a laser over there. And now I can go around and shoot some heights. I started setting the house out this week and man, it is the hardest set out I have done. There is not a single straight boundary to work off. The profile over in this corner is 3.3 meters out of the ground and there's way too many corners on the house. Every 1200 mils or 4 feet I am marking one of these and that's where I've got to dig a hole for the retaining post. $57 holes I've had to drill on the site. Check out this. This bar is 4 meters long. The earthworks are officially finished and now we can start the preparations for the foundation. I am absolutely shattered, man. It's been a couple of long days and my body is not used to it. Another week on site. A successful week. I've passed 2 inspections. I've passed my siting inspection and I have passed my first engineer's inspection. So he was happy with the depth of the holes that we've drilled and we are good to start our foundation works. Here we are getting piles ready. There's the piles and I'm sitting on a stack of timber, first delivery. It's a wet Monday morning here on site. I absolutely hated working in the rain when I was an apprentice and now I'm out here slaving away. It was wet, it was pouring down, but we had these 50 holes and they were drilled and I had to make a call on whether to pour them or not. It's crazy when you're an apprentice and you're like, oh, the rain, you can't be bothered, and then when it's your own site and you're like involved, somehow you just get out here and do it. The rain just makes things so hard. It just makes like a normal job literally 3 times harder. Even at the end of the day I had to like empty my toolbox, empty my tools, dry them all out. That wasn't fun either. It's just kind of like it's not over when you get home. every plan, it seems to be 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and I haven't encountered that for a long time. But then I've got to remind myself that this is not just your like typical flat subdivision, just bang it up. It is a complicated site, it's a complicated design, and it's going to take a bit of thinking. So we're boxing up the garage slab. That means that we create a hard surface for the concrete to finish to. So we're down over here, down in there. Yesterday was just one of those insane days where everything right from the start went wrong. I hired compactor and then went to pull it to start, and the starter cord was broken. So that was an hour of wasted time going and getting a new one. Then I was backing the trailer at the house where I'm staying and clipped the neighbour's letterbox. So spent another hour fixing that, and then we went to start the steel last night and realised that they had sent all the wrong steel. This 66 square metre slab passed 2 inspections yesterday, and we are now good to pour concrete. So all things considered, the fact that we only got our consent 2 weeks ago and we're about to pour concrete is a massive achievement and a big milestone for the site. It means that we're going to have a hard finished surface to work off, and the build will start to get out of the ground, and that's where you start to get out of the unknown territory and into the known. One of the unexpected joys of vlogging my build was the factory tours that popped up along the way. One of the ones I remember the most is the pre-nail visit. So we made the trip out to the Kapiti coast to see how they were fabricated off-site. You can look at the whole house in 3D, right?
Well, that's the whole thing there, yeah, and I can put the trusses on for you.
Yeah. Even looking at like what the detailer did and how he gets it into the computer program, and the fact that we could turn the house around in every which angle and look at every stud, dwang and block, it definitely has given me more of an appreciation for what goes into those sets of frames that turn up to site. This is the subfloor framing for what's going to be a little 20 square metre studio hanging off the front of our house. Just got a phone call to say the steel beam for our garage is ready. We could probably lift this beam if we really tried. I mean, it's only 150 kgs, but the truck was coming past and ITM was more than willing to help. Cheers ITM, really appreciate it. It's in. Its steel beam is in. That literally took less than 5 minutes and would have taken us so much longer if we were trying to manhandle it ourselves. Thanks again, ITM. Cheers. I'm standing on the final floor for the house. With only a couple of days before Christmas, we got the floor finished, an amazing milestone considering that we only started building 9 weeks ago and we've had our fair share of challenges. Frames are up, nets are in, scaffolding's done. We can now crack on with the roof framing. There's the roofing iron due to go on tomorrow. These are called purlins here. These here are called trusses. Over there you can see the skylight box we've had to form. This is our hallway and you can see there that will be one of the skylights that we are installing, and that will actually showcase our protected tree. That is the front roof over the lounge. There's another tree that we're not allowed to touch, but looks pretty amazing. Another massive milestone ticked off in the build. A huge amount of work dealing with the odd shape of the building because of the easements and because of the weird shape of the section. I counted up the other day, it has 18 corners on the exterior, and each corner adds so much more work. Like literally I reckon every corner adds another couple of days of work that wouldn't be there if you just had this, you know, normal boxed shaped house. We've gone from earthworks to slab to frames up, roof trusses, and now we have a roof. Big milestone at the section nobody wanted, just about to cut my last sheet of rab. Here's the building, all wrapped up. In the lounge, I'll show you, there's a sliding door. The architect was up here on the weekend and we all decided that it would be better to move it a metre to the right to get more of the views of the hill. Pretty much I'm going to spend the morning unpicking some of the work we did last week and putting it back together. Usually reaching lockup is a massive and exciting milestone. This time has been a little bit different, however. The last few days have been a mad, frantic rush to get everything in place to close down and walk away.
From 11:59 p.m. tonight, we will close our border to any non-residents and citizens attempting to travel here.
As most of you know, on Monday afternoon, the Prime Minister of New Zealand announced a 4-week nationwide shutdown. And so pretty much 1:30, everything that I had organised on this build went out the window and we went into close downing mode. Now that we have to walk away from this build and the timeline is super unknown, I'm so glad that I made the decision to install Plasterboard. It means that our house is fully weather tight and this stuff can stand up to 180 days in the weather. I'm pretty confident I can get the cladding on before then. Morning, first day back to work. Decided to ride the bike up today. One less car on site. Planning to get the weatherboard on and get the house fully closed in. Just about to head home, very long day on site. Finished this wall here, and this wall here, and so tomorrow we're going to move around the back and start cladding over there using linear oblique random pattern. This wall here is already finished and painted. Spouting on, doors in, you've got to have a light either side of the door, an up down light, and then we've got those screws there we've pre-bolted for the deck. Painted a few walls over the weekend. This is what it's going to start looking like. Pretty happy with how it's coming up. A few more things to do on this wall before we can finish that off, and we'll be dropping the scaffold soon. That'll be exciting.
That's essentially what you can sort of look at. There's a bin here, just a plain drawer underneath. In here you got like a magic corner or something, so that pulls out.
Yo, so I'm just on site with Adam, cool cat.
How's it going? We've just done a pre-pipe here for a heat pump. We're going for a 8 kilowatt Mitsubishi Electric.
Up there, it will be.
Runs.
Stairs have arrived. A little bit more work to do here. It is so good to have a set of stairs in. This is going to be our big front door unit here. So the door is 2.2 meters high, and then we have a big pane of glass above it, as well as a skylight in the entranceway here. Today's exciting job, super exciting, we get to install a house loader back. Today we have the beginning of another milestone. We have another delivery arriving in about 2 hours. Getting the jib on the walls is one of those immensely satisfying stages of the build. It's where it turns from this timber framing that you've been looking at for months to all of a sudden there's a wall that you can touch. I've got the plasterer arriving tomorrow morning, Monday, and I didn't want to lose that slot, so I have worked 6 days and 2 nights to get this house ready for the plasterer to arrive. This is our lounge over here, this is our kitchen here. So this room here will be the second lounge. We have paint on the walls, doors, skirtings, architraves. Painters are just finishing up now, and we will have reached another milestone on the section nobody wanted. we are dropping the scaffold. And of course the day we plan to do this, it starts to rain. Painting is all complete and the Sparkies have finished a lot of their work, so the very next step is hard flooring. So that includes a wooden overlay that we have purchased, and it also includes tiles. There's 6 of us on site and we are going hard installing tiles and flooring. We have 900 meters of this beach overlay to go down. We've got tiles. After months of toiling away, we're finally at the stage where this house is starting to come together. Light switches. You can turn them around and angle them where you want them. Pretty cool. Tuesday afternoon and we are in the stairwell today putting on the white faces. It's all happening today. We've got the digger driver, got a couple of builders inside, got some boys downstairs doing a deck. Everything that you've been planning and working towards is starting to come together. A car goes here. Yeah. Perfect cut. I don't want to be one of those builders that moves into a place and still has 1,000 jobs that I just procrastinate forever. Today's job is that fireplace needs to go in that corner. Bit of a mish. We've had to cut out all of the old floor. Basically, I didn't read the specs properly. I wrongly assumed that I could just use a 6mm steel plate like my old fire that I installed. But this one, we need to put a 20mm layer of non-combustible surface.
Nice and light though.
Yeah, good. Real light. You go. So that'll form an edge for the tiles rather than using the aluminium edging. We've formed a custom made wooden trim. Next steps is the roofer is going to cut a hole in the roof and put a flashing all the way to the ridge there, and that will keep the water out, and then we poke the chimney through. Tomorrow we are attacking this area here. This is the study nook. Just finished cutting the plywood for the shelf upstairs. We've got the shelves on the wall, the desk is in. I'm going to put a coat of oil over everything tonight, and we'll just touch up some of the marks we've left on the wall. Yo, it's Friday morning. I've got the plumber and I've got the sparky here, and it's been a morning of tying up loose ends. We've been doing the kitchen range hood, the island light, the heated towel rails. Although we've already moved in, I've written a list for every single room, and I'm adamant that we are going to get this place 100% finished. The steel beam's in and we've started the joists. Let's head up there and have a look. Feels like it's been a long time coming, but we are finally laying the decking. Let's crack on. We've managed to lay about half of it. We're going to continue to attack this part. It's looking awesome. The hidden fixing, loving the look of that as well. Let's keep laying. Let's just say sloping sides are a lot of work. We've been living here for 3 months now, and we still have the wrapper on our front door. I think it's time to remove it. Our metal balustrade is finally on site, and it marks one of the last jobs we need to do for code of compliance. So it's pretty light, hey? And we're going to do a little bit more landscaping, get the kids' fort a little bit more safe, get it finished, get the balustrade up. Yeah, just chunking away at a lot of those little jobs that have been lingering and just really want to get it finished and out of my head. Hey, this area is starting to look mint. It's a lot of work, but we're getting there. So this morning we got this floor square. We're also doing some work up here on the driveway. What I'm going to do today is we're going to fill up some of the planter boxes down the bottom. It's all those little things that take it from a building site to a finished product. It's crazy that it's taken this long to do it. Over here we've built like a little garden box, and then just up there we're doing an edge. We're going to carry the grisolinias along. We're just going to do this feature area with a bunch of different size golf ball pittosporums, so they're kind of like staggered random, and then when you walk up the drive you see that. We've got the firewood shed there, and we've got the work from home office there. Boom, we got a set of stairs from the top level to the bottom level, almost ready. So much work in this kind of stuff. Now I'll be able to drive straight up to my wood. Over here I'm going to build my very own mini ramp. Only 20 years overdue from when I wish I could build one. If you think that's crazy, we're about to do it all over again. Just over there, I've taken on a similar sloping site, about to do the whole process all over. Stay tuned and subscribe for more.